Now, a man once said, I make albums so people can play it and you actually hear it. You know, driving in your car and you hear another car playing it. You go to the barbershop and you can hear them playing it. Simply put, it ain't no mysterious music. Far from, actually. Now, that was me paraphrasing something a very special someone said, and right now some bells should be going off in your head because you should know who I just quoted. If you don't, let me refresh your memory.
I gotta say this too. I make albums so people can play it and you actually hear it. You know, it's playing everywhere. It's called great music. It's called albums that you actually hear the songs, not no mysterious shit.
Now, that's us going back to May of last year when both Tyler the Creator and DJ Khaled dropped an album on the same day. And then what ended up happening was Igor by Tyler the Creator went #1 and DJ Khaled ended up having a tantrum because he didn't get the #1 spot. That was a very interesting situation that went on there because if you ask me, #1, it definitely did show Khaled's true colors. Now, it's not so much about him being upset about not getting the #1 album because who doesn't want to be #1, but it was more about how he disregarded Tyler's music as mysterious simply because he lost. Khaled pretty much had the entire industry on his album. On top of that, the album was of course full of songs that were made with the intention of becoming hits. That's how DJ Khaled has been operating his entire career. Of course, no issues with that, but he lost to a guy who on the other hand didn't make an album with the intention of getting a hit, which says a lot, right? Tyler actually responded back to DJ Khaled over a month after Khaled threw shade at him. He did that on an interview with Zane Lowe and pretty much said exactly what I just said.
First week, and again, I don't make to beat first week or beat radio or whatever, but for this work of art and that album cover and these videos and me doing this suit wig thing, beat, and this is no disrespect to Khaled or anyone, but this nigga had every person in the industry, everyone on that fucking album, everyone.
This entire DJ Khaled versus Tyler battle really to me highlighted one thing, and it's the fact that we're currently living in a generation of salty artists. Never have we seen so many artists in the music industry either using some kind of shady tactic, Justin Bieber, or like in the DJ Khaled case, simply be so salty about not going #1, you start stepping all over the art that ended up beating yours. And like I said, everyone wants to be #1, ain't no question in that. What I'm saying though is going #1 and getting that #1 placement has become so important to the point where accepting that so-called L, you know, that #2 placement without being salty isn't really an option. Now let's talk about how Roddy Ricch effortlessly and gracefully beat Justin Bieber the Box versus Yummy, a battle I covered very extensively when it was all happening back in January of this year. Looking back at this very particular situation, this was pretty much just another replay of the same moment with Tyler beating DJ Khaled. Now as we all know, Justin Bieber was so set on getting the #1 record to the point where he told his fans to stream his song while they're sleeping. That of course didn't end up going as planned, since I was gonna say myself, but Roddy ended up beating Yummy at the end. Now in the midst of this battle, when both songs were in the process of charting, Roddy of course decided to outsmart Justin by telling his fans to stream Yummy instead of The Box. So you know how DJ Khaled showed his true colors when he lost? Well, Roddy showed his true colors when he was winning. The contrast. The second artist who we saw wanted to beat Roddy really badly was of course Selena Gomez. Also a situation that I covered, but Selena dropped an album during that battle between Roddy and Justin, and then a couple days later after her release, she found out that she was going head to head with Roddy, meaning there was a really big chance that she wasn't gonna get the #1 album, and that's when she went on Instagram and posted this.
So I just found out that my album is neck to neck with another incredible artist. I told people before that, you know, it's not about numbers for me, but I would love for the most important album I've ever released to become #1.
Obviously, this video right here came off as not so genuine since she said that she didn't care about numbers, but then again said, hey, I want the #1 album. She did actually end up getting that #1 spot though, and did beat Roddy with only 2,000 copies. That following week, Eminem dropped his album Music to Be Murdered By, so he got the #1 spot while Roddy came in at 4, and Rare, Selena's album, dropped down to #6. And then that following week, after Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial had been out for over 8 weeks, Roddy claimed that #1 spot and dethroned Eminem on M's second week, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. Selena's album at that point wasn't even in the top 10 anymore. It dropped all the way down to number 15. A battle that ended up becoming an asset to the non-salty artist himself, Roddy, and once again showed the true colors of another pop star. Let's also not forget that Roddy did the same thing here, by the way, and told his fans to stream Selena's album during this little battle. We've also seen what happened between Nicki Minaj and Travis Scott in a similar situation. Travis, of course, got the #1 album with Astroworld and ended up beating Nicki, who then called him out for cheating the system by bundling his album with merchandise and concert tickets. A common little tactic that's been going on for a while now that Billboard has put a stop to. Now, all these salty artist cases we've seen really just put a spotlight on how it's definitely not about the music itself anymore. It's about solidifying that I'm a winner perception at the expense of other artists. Some music like Tyler's or Roddy's happen to organically win, while other music, despite having all the industry backings and every single inauthentic tactic on their side, lose. It is what it is. But yeah, mysterious music. What do you think about this entire topic? Is this the kind of behavior we're gonna see more of in the music industry or less of? Definitely let me know in the comment section below and let's have a discussion about this.